I kind of feel, maybe just because I relate with this, that it kind of takes one to know one. And so I want to maybe get a little bit personal with you and talk about some of this, talk more about vulnerability, because it's not easy. And maybe I'm overgeneralizing, but generally I think for men, it's difficult to be vulnerable, to put yourself out there. I mean, we take risks. Sure, we soldier through and do whatever,
right.
Get bloody and beat up, but to show our sensitive side, and Brene Brown talks a lot about this too, where she says it's seen as a sign of weakness. So did you ever have a time where you struggled with this, being vulnerable? Talk to us about that.
Well, yeah, I think it's something I deal with every single day and have for a really long time. That part of what happens if you're going to be an entrepreneur or even a freelancer, someone dancing on the edge, is you're paying attention to the audience. You want to know if you're making a sale. You want to know if it's working. You're not just phoning it in.
Right.
So, in the old days, it was one phone call a day could make or break your day. Now it's one email every 10 seconds could make or break your day, right? So you have to decide first, are you open to letting the world have at your work?
Yeah.
Well, 17 books in, I think I am. 4,800 blog posts in, I'm sort of hooked on this.
Yeah.
Then the question is, what are you going to do with it when it comes back? Because it does come back. You touch people and they touch you back. So I have no comments on my blog. I don't read my reviews on Amazon. And the reason is self-preservation. It has nothing to do with vulnerability because I've put it into the world.
Yeah.
But I realized I'd never met an author who said, Seth, I read all my one-star reviews on Amazon and now my writing is a lot better. Right?
Yeah.
That's just not what happens.
Yeah.
So those don't exist. If someone sends me an anonymous email, I'm going to delete it. But if someone, and there's thousands of people who I have some sort of digital connection with, has some feedback on something I've done, I'm going to listen to it, and I'm open to it, and there's an exchange that goes on. And more important, millions of people are talking to each other about my work. You have to be open to that. You have to be ready for that to happen. I am not saying you need to become some magical little echo chamber, and that's why I don't use Twitter, because I realized if I got sucked into Twitter, it's like playing tennis with 150 people at a time. You hit the ball once, and then a whole bunch of balls come back. You'll never be able to keep up with that.
Yeah.
So part of this discipline is not becoming J.D. Salinger and living isolated in a cabin, but figuring out how to be in the world, learn enough from the world that your stuff gets better, but continue to make things, continue to put these ideas into the world. I want to add one last thing on that topic, because it's something I've thought about a lot. I was really fortunate before his illness, and then when he passed away, I got to be on stage once with Zig Ziglar, one of my teachers. And it was 10,000, 12,000 people actually it's more than that, in a big stadium in Milwaukee. And backstage I said, so tell me, Zig, what do you do about that guy in the third row who's asleep? Because I'm standing up there, and I've flown halfway across the country, and I've practiced this thing, and that guy, he's asleep. Or he's not paying attention.
Yeah.
I said, and Zig, I'm giving him everything I've got. I'm aiming all my photons and tachyons at him, and he's just not responding. And I can't do Zig's voice anymore, but Zig turned to me and he said, it's not for him. It's that woman sitting next to him on the edge of her seat, the one who's came a long way to hear you speak, the one who's listening to what you're saying and is going to do something. It's for her.
Yeah.
Don't take it away from her and give it to this guy. He doesn't deserve it. It's for her. And once we learn to shun the non-believers, once we learn to be comfortable enough to say, it's not for you, then we free ourselves up, because no one can make something for everyone. No one. There's no product that everyone wants. So you can either spend all your time trying to get the last person to like you, or you can say, I'm sorry, it's not for you. I'll go talk to these guys instead.